there's nothing more that I truly believe than sales will make you rich in your 20s if you do it correctly. Okay, whether that's direct sales, whether that's in-person sales, whether that's online sales, no matter what type of sales it is, no matter the industry, learning a skill like sales, building a high income skill, if done correctly and if you put yourself in the right situation, it will make you rich in your 20s. Okay, learning sales is how I got fired from my job as a corporate degree apprentice in 2024 and scaled to 5 to 6k plus per month within a few months. It's how I scaled to 10, 12, 13k plus per month as a sales rep and as a business owner. And it's how I've been able to help plenty of other people do it as well. And it's the one thing true to my heart where I tried and I just fell in love with straight away. Okay, someone like me who wasn't smart in school, okay, who wasn't really intelligent, who didn't get the best grades, who wasn't that really techie nerdy, okay, who'd looked into all of these other things like, trading, dropshipping, e-commerce, forex. Do you know what I mean? Someone like me who'd looked into all of these things and tried to comprehend them, but couldn't get my head around them, learning something like sales, which is simple, but it's not easy, is the one thing that allowed me to thrive and allowed me to put myself in a position where I scaled to 10k plus per month as a 19-year-old. I'm currently 20 right now. I'm on track to hit a record month, and I'm going to hit a record month this month. And I just make a load of money. I help people make a load of money too. And I live a high energy lifestyle. And I know that for a fact that I'm going to become rich, all because I learned sales, and I'm going to continue learning sales, okay? So let's get into it. In the modern world, okay, the value you provide equals the amount of money you make, okay? So it's a simple equation, right? The amount of value you yourself as a human being, or you yourself as like an individual can provide will dictate the amount of money you make, okay? The reason why every single person, all of these rich people, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Alex Hormozy, the reason why all of these people make so much money is because they've got so much value to provide and they can solve rich problems for rich people. Okay? And when you can solve rich problems for rich people and you can provide value to rich people and you can put yourself in a situation where your ability, your capabilities can help other people, you will make money, okay? That's the reason why, clothes shops exist. That's the reason why brands exist. And that's the reason why brands make some of the most money in the world, is because they're providing value, they're solving a problem, and they're making an insane amount of money, okay? That's the reason why, fitness coaches or people like gyms, that's the reason why gyms make so much money, because they're providing value, they're helping people, lose weight, or gain muscle, and therefore they're making an insane amount of money. Okay, if we look at things like trading, okay, if we look at things like dropshipping, if we look at things like e-commerce and forex, okay, they're not skills, okay, they're kind of like a concept, or it's kind of like something where you just throughout time you learn how to learn a few buttons, you learn how to trade a few signals, or you learn how to read a market. And although it is a skill, okay, I mean, maybe it is, me saying it's not a skill, it's not right, it isn't correct. Although they are true skills, they're luck dependent and replaceable, okay? They're things that, later on down the line, you're going to need an insane amount of capital to invest into, okay? They're things that if you don't have the right guidance, and they're things that if you don't know what you're doing, you will lose an insane amount of money by trying to do something like these things, okay? And by no means am I bad-mouthing these things. I've got some of my closest friends, some of my best friends, do things like trading, dropshipping, e-commerce, forex. These are all things that I looked into, things that I tried, but they were just things that I was never able to see success with, was because I didn't have the help that I needed initially, okay? They were very luck dependent, they were very replaceable, and I didn't feel like I was actually learning something that was going to make me sort of valuable and that was going to be able to make me a lot of money, later down the line. Okay? That is why I genuinely think, right, something like sales, okay? Something like sales, learning and selling and providing your value to businesses and picking up the skill of sales is what changed my life. Because instead of going to uni and racking up 6 figures of debt, why not go and learn sales and put yourself in a position to rack up 6 figures in profit? Okay, you can either go to uni for 3 years and rack up 6 figures in debt, or you can learn sales, you can learn a high income skill for 3 years and rack up 6 figures. Okay, and some of the things that sales teach you are vital to not only seeing success in business, but seeing success in life as well. You know, being able to persuade and influence people. Persuasion and influence. Okay, these are all things that, as young people, as young men specifically, being able to persuade and influence people. Maybe if you want, your future wife, you want a girlfriend. Okay, you need to persuade her, you need to influence her in order to want to, build a family with you, in order to like you. You need to persuade the woman of your dreams to want to choose you. Okay, reading people, being able to read people's body language. Okay, gauge how you're making them feel, gauge how they're feeling, and sort of gauge their buying signals, etc. So key. Building relationships with friends. Okay, other successful business owners, networking. Okay, being able to learn how to make people feel good and make people smile. Okay, handling objections. Okay, objections don't just come in sales, but they come in life. Okay, you might, want to go do something with your friends and they're giving you objections. Being able to handle their objection of why they don't want to do it, just comes to why they don't want to do whatever you want to do. It comes down to persuasion and influence. Okay, negotiating with people. Okay, negotiating for better deals, or negotiating for, negotiating people to want to buy your service for a better price for you. Okay, mental resilience. I promise you guys right now, right, a key sort of factor in all successful people is mental resilience. And if there was one thing in life that teaches you mental resilience, it is wholeheartedly sales. Okay, I've done all types of sales. I've done door knocking, I've done closing, I've done appointment setting. I've basically done every single sales under the market, and especially in things like door-to-door sales. Like the mental resilience that you get after being told to fuck off, the mental resilience you get after hearing no after no. Okay, the ability to handle objections, or the ability to handle rejection and have people tell you to do some crazy things to your face, and you being able to keep your smile, go on with your day, and not think anything about it. Okay, and then finally, just the ability to sell something out of nothing. Like if you master sales, there should be no reason why you actually ever struggle to make money again. Okay, but once you learn sales, there should be no reason why you actually struggle to make money, because at the end of the day, things are always going to need to be sold. You know what I mean? From the beginning of time up until now, there's never been a time where nothing has been sold. Okay, from when our great ancestors at the beginning of the world, at the beginning of this earth, they had to learn to sell. They had to learn to negotiate and read people and build relationships with people. Okay, when you think about it, everything comes down to sales. Life is sales, and the sooner you're able to get really good at sales and master something sales, there should be no reason why you, as a young man, in your 20s, can't become rich. Okay, if we look at, the number one skill that most self-made billionaires come from is tied down to sales. Okay, a huge portion of self-made billionaires got there because they could sell an idea, raise capital, and build networks. And these are all things that sales teaches you. Okay, this skill shows up in real estate, media, finance, whatever it is. The ability to persuade, pitch, and close deals has created more billionaires than any other skill. Because it's so true. Like, you don't take it from my own opinion. Don't take it from my mouth. Just go out and do some research. Go and look, and you genuinely see why sales make sense and why other people have been able to use sales to make themselves into, self-made billionaires. Okay? And don't just take my word for it, all right? Take some of my students' work for it, okay? Take people like Yestin, Bruno, Anil, okay? People that make 3, 4, 5 grand a month. Okay, some of my new students that learn sales and be able to get a role in companies that are paying them £500 base pay a month, with a company or a business doing 100k plus per month. When they get 6% of each sale, that's what? If their company does 100k a month and they're on 10% of that, they're on 6% of that, well, 10% is 10k, half of that is 5k. That's about a 5 to 6k plus per month role through sales. Okay, that's a 5 to 6k plus per month role with sales. Do you know what I mean? Like, one of my clients, okay, he's not just into sales anymore, but he's into sales management. Okay, he made 15k in a week for his client last week. He got out some sales teams built out, and he's taken on coaching students, okay? One of my other students making 3.5K revenue generated in a day, getting 3 of his sales closed. The ability to learn sales is insane, because you're not paid on a wage. You're paid on performance, okay? Meaning that your results are a direct reflection of the work you put in, okay? It's not like your 9-to-5 role where you can either work your ass off or you can do no work and there's going to be no difference in your paycheck at the end of the day or at the end of the week, okay? It's an industry where if you're soft, you will not make any money, okay? But if you're soft, you don't deserve to make money. And you deserve to be in that sort of category of people that just get paid a wage, get paid a very minimum wage and live a very minimal life. Okay, your results are a direct reflection of the work that you put in. You get in what you put out, and you work with real business owners doing 6, 7, 8 figures a year. Okay, people like my students again, like if he's working under a business owner that's doing 100K plus per month, if you go to uni, you don't even learn from people that have done 100K in a year, let alone a month. Why do you want to go to uni and learn business from someone who doesn't even make 100K a year when you can learn from someone that makes 100K a month? Okay. It's a bit insane, and the opportunity in the market is insane, and that's why I think something like sales and learning a skill like sales is what will make you rich, and it's what allowed me to put myself in an amazing financial situation. And it's one of those things where you just don't get rich in a weekend, okay? I'm not sitting there telling you right now that if you learn sales, you'll get rich overnight, because you won't, okay? That's just not true, and anyone that tells you that is fucking lying. Okay, but it's a skill that will allow you to make a crazy amount of money. It will allow you to put yourself in a crazy situation like my students have, and like plenty of my other students have that I can't even show you on this. You know, you just can't just take my word for it. You can literally reach out to them yourself. And it will just allow you to improve every single facet of your life, like what I showed you here. Okay, I genuinely believe that learning sales will make you rich in your 20s, better than anything else will, better than crypto, better than AI, no matter all of these other skills that are just, it's a shiny object. Okay, learning sales and making yourself valuable will make you an insane amount of money, and that's why I think it's the greatest opportunity in the market right now. Okay, if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know. Let me know your comments down below if you agree with me or don't agree with me. Any questions, just send me on Instagram. Anyone looking to get into sales, please send me a text. I can send you a load of my free resources. We can even talk one-to-one personally to see if this is something I can help you with. And yeah, as simple as that, boys. You guys take care, and we'll be in contact soon.